Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a beautiful looking car, a Honda Civic 1.6 Sport Diesel. This is the Navigator model, which isn't standard on the car. Finishing this absolutely beautiful but rather naffily called Sporty Blue Metallic, and the car's lovely. It's done 105,000 miles, so it is very well priced, and it's in beautiful condition. Lights and lenses completely clean and intact. Front bumper's very clean. Likewise, bonnet again very clean. For the miles, the car is exceptional. Come down the near side, passenger side first, and it's very smooth in the panels. Can't see any indentations at all. The panel works lovely and original as well. Sun's just going to come poking out just at the wrong time because it makes it very glary, but I do apologise. But the car's around the back of the car again. We've got the facelift model, so you get this kind of smoked rear glass, black diffuse at the bottom there. It looks absolutely stunning on the car. And driver's side, offside, again, just wonderfully clean the panels. It looks like a car that's done half a miles, if that. Externally, as I said, there will be the odd tiny little mark, but in all honesty, they are very few and far between. Let's go into the back of the car now. So I do apologise for the glary sun. It is again in absolutely fantastic condition in here. Certainly belies the age of miles, and cavernous boot as well. Coming to the back of the car now. Again, it is in extraordinary condition, really. Again, just back of the car simply has hardly been used at all. Coming to the front passenger door card, full set of original undermats for the car. Again, passenger seat, just minimal use in there at all. Finally, just coming to the driver's side, door card, as with all the others, in beautiful condition. And footwell area is all really nice, and the driver's seat, which is the one you expect to take all the wear, exhibits hardly anything at all. So sat inside now, less windy in here certainly. Dashboard looks absolutely brand new. It's in just stunning condition, it really is. Sat nav is set up as fit to this car, all working perfectly. Pop the car into reverse there. You got gridded rear parking camera as well. Dual zone climate control system. But all the little recesses, everything's been kept absolutely beautifully. We come back here and pan back. That is the dashboard view you get as a driver, and I have to say I think that is still the very best dashboard in its class. No warning lights on the dashboard at all, aside from a low fuel light, and 105,220 miles currently showing. So I will pan in and show you for you now. Hopefully you can see that just on there, but it really is exceptionally clean in here. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. So finally, just go under this absolutely beautifully presented engine bay, as is the case with pretty much all Hondas. Wonderful engines. We've just serviced the vehicle, and they are cam chain driven, so no cam belts to worry about on these cars. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 Sport Diesel. It's the Navigator model, as you can see, and the car's registered YG15XLM. Mileage at start of the road test is 105,221 miles. Reason we do these videos, as I say in each and every one, is very simple. It's basically so that anyone that's looking at this car in an advert online actually gets to see that very car in operation. We know just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car, and then to get there after looking at the photos and description online, which all look good, to find out it's got a fundamental mechanical problem which would show up on road test. So that's why we do it, so it's critical in that sense. So if there's anything amiss, then you get to know about it before coming to us. Road test is also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on should they be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, engine first, absolutely brilliant units, they really are. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, and that's exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car, and the car's been running for quite some time now. The engines are just, in my opinion, kind of the perfect diesel really, because it's it's hard to believe, missing 100,000 miles, and if you were foolish enough to blindfold yourself and drive a car, you would have no chance of telling whether you're driving this engine or one which had literally just done 1,000 miles, because it is so smooth, so civilized, just lovely in operation, because what you want from a good turbo diesel is obviously fuel efficiency and reliability, and it gives real world economy, which is brilliant. You know, I've had a few of these. I've got a diesel Civic myself currently. I tend to average on shorter trips around about 60-62 to the gallon, longer trips 70, and it's easily achievable driven normally. But they're also just a lovely engine to use day in, day out. They're smooth, quiet, and what they're brilliant with rather is their power delivery. You don't get that awful kind of nothing, huge turbo lag and suddenly loads of power and then it tails off at the end. You get a lovely linear power delivery, very good throttle response instantly, and it just pulls hard all the way through the rev band. It's a brilliant unit. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely spot on. Bike point's exactly where it's meant to be. Pedal is lovely and light and positive in travel. Gearbox on the car, obviously 6-speed gearboxes are the way these days, and a genuinely brilliant gearbox. It's got a, you just know it comes from a company that sort of prides itself in the quality of the gear change it puts into the cars it sells, because it's got a lovely kind of mechanical quality to it. Lovely shift action, and it's as precise now as it would have been when it was new. It just feels absolutely solid in the gearbox there. Steering of the vehicle, tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back through the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, and it's just a wonderful steering system as well. It's got really nicely weighted steering, makes the car feel lovely and solid and secure on the road. But it's very precise, very accurate, and works wonderfully with the chassis of the car. Because if you enjoy your driving and you want to do some spirited driving, corners like that, you just turn the wheel slightly. You don't have to kind of twist your arms because it's, you know, got ridiculous gearing on it. It's just it's a perfect setup really for this type of car. And again, just feel zero wear in it. The chassis, again, what I'm looking for in terms of wear and tear, especially the car at this age of mileage, is kind of any noises coming from underneath that shouldn't be there, any sort of clonks or rattles or anything like that, of which there's nothing at all. It's perfect, you know, amazing. But it's also just a lovely car to drive, a beautifully damped and controlled ride, fantastic body control, and an ability to kind of flow through corners. You know, whether you're just driving sedately or with a bit of vigour, it responds absolutely brilliantly. It really does. Fantastic chassis. And let's turn around here, and then I'll give the brakes a bit of a shove. Worth pointing out, the car obviously just being serviced by ourselves, but it's also going to go for an independent MOT later today. We have nothing to do with the MOTs, so pass, fail or otherwise, we have to attend to whatever needs to be done. And it's right, so it should be that way. Brakes on the car, they look great in the pre-delivery inspection service we've done, but obviously MOT will double check that anyway. But the brake itself, the pedal, it's got a really meaty quality to it. There's no kind of pulsing or vibration coming back through the brake pedal at all, and it pulls the car nice and straight and true. Coming to the interior of the car, unfortunately the sun's out now, which kind of glares inside, which isn't really good for the videos, but first things first, build quality. I mean, it is astonishing to think that this car's done the miles it's done, because there isn't a squeak or a rattle or a buzz from the interior at all. They are sensationally well made cars, and as I say in plenty of my other videos, it really boils my blood when you read the car magazines testing brand new cars, and the same candidates come out as the ones that are the best to build, that, you know, all that kind of stuff and build quality, and yet by comparison to these at this age and mileage, they're nowhere near as well built, because build quality is about how it lasts, not how it is when it's first built. You know, it's how it stands the test of time. And so all the switchgear has this beautifully oiled quality of snick action to it. It's just, and it feels the same now as it did when it was brand new. And that's build quality. And it does frustrate me. And it's just a wonderful dashboard to sit behind. Everything working exactly as it should. You've got obviously dual zone climate control system on the car. That pumps out lovely cold air, by the way, because we checked it in the workshops earlier, and the workshop's nice and warm. But then the whole display is just absolutely fantastic. You've got, when what Honda have done with it, they're giving you a really interesting dashboard, but one that actually works. It's not there just for show. Centre stuff's all fairly conventional, more so than it was in the previous generation, but works brilliantly. But then my favourite part, this two-tier dashboard directly in front, gives all the information you want high up, so you're not taking your eyes off the road. So you've got information display there for radio, various car information. Also, if you press the button here for your ventilation, the readout comes up there as well as on the screen down here. So again, not taking your eyes off the road. Directly in front of you, you've got this digital speedo. So again, you're basically looking at the road ahead, but you can see the corner of the speed at the corner of your eye, rather. It's just genius, absolute genius in the way it works. Down below that, this more conventional pod of dials. You've got big rev counter in the middle, flanked by the temperature and fuel gauges. Auto lights, auto wipers, all working perfectly. Cruise control again working perfectly. It's a big spec car. Steering wheel looks and feels fantastic in hand and feels like new. So the whole car does. It just feels as tight as a drum, which brings me back to the start of the video, the point of which, as I said, was to bring up any issues that there might be whilst driving the car, and there's nothing at all. And I'm not giving it any allowance for its age or mileage, by the way. It's been as critical as it would had it done a very low mileage, but I find it impossible to criticise a car in that sense. As always, though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, do give us a call.